Hello, everybody. Well, today we're going to discuss something very controversial because when you are studying philosophy, sooner or later you will come across this kind of questions. Or maybe you will be asked this question: that are humans just a kind of upgraded or the latest version of animals? Or we are completely another creatures that we have, you know, very important differences with the animals. But first of all, I'm talking about mental differences and spiritual differences, not physical differences. Physically, we are animals, all right? Uh, Physically, we are very similar to the other animals, especially some animals that belongs to the chimpanzees group. Because we have heart, they also have heart. We have brain, they also have brain. Most animals have brain. We have kidney, we have liver, we have skeleton. At least I'm sure about mammals. Well, I'm not sure about the other animals, but we have many things in common. So physically, we are animals. But what we're going to talk about right now is not the physical approaches of human beings and other animals. It is the mental issues or the capability of thinking, reasoning, logic, the brain capabilities. And they are important because, some people think that we are just the upgraded version of chimpanzees, according to what Darwin said, that we became human beings today during the evolution process. And whatever that I'm talking about human beings' mental capabilities does not mean that I'm in disagreement with evolution. I do agree with the evolution, but not in human being in the way that Darwin said about it. All right, before I talk about the differences between human beings and the animals, I have to define some words: intelligence and consciousness. So maybe you have heard that somebody may come across to you and say you are a kind of intelligent person. It means that you are smart and you have some capabilities that other people may not have those kind of capabilities, and so you are smart, you're a kind of intellectual person. But that intelligence is something that it is in your essence. Okay? Humans are intelligent animals. Animals are also intelligent. But the intelligence that we're talking about right now is something that it is in your essence, it is in your existence, it is in your instinct. And all the animals have it as well. For example, take some predators like lions into considerations. When they want to hunt, they know exactly how to hunt. And also, their prey are also intelligent as well. They can smell that the lion is approaching toward them, and they know how to escape. And sometimes the lions can actually hunt, and sometimes they fail to hunt. Animals can fight for survival. They do it by their intelligence. They do not think that, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to deceive the predators. They do according to their instinct. And this instinct is actually inside their nature, inside their existence. They do not learn it from their parents, or they do not actually learn it by studying books, or something like that. They just know it, by themselves as soon as they are born. So if we compare it with the baby born of the human beings, I can say that the animals are even more intelligent. All right. So the most important thing about the intelligence is that animals are intelligent creatures. Human beings are also intelligent creatures. Okay. Uh, but so what is the difference between intelligence and what do we have beside intelligence? We have something else, and we call it consciousness. Now let's talk about consciousness and see how they are different from each other. Humans, although they are intelligent and they have intelligence, and that intelligence is inside their essence and in their nature, they also have consciousness. Consciousness is actually related to the wisdom. There are two outputs for consciousness or for the wisdom. I mean, the way that we think, all right? Because we have two things. We have one thing in common. By I mean humans and animals, and that is our brain. Animals also have the brain, okay? Brain is responsible for thinking and for reaction of the animals and also human beings to the incidents that they encounter in the nature. But in human beings, the brain is working a little bit different comparing the brains of the animals. The size of the brain does not matter. You know, the brain of the elephant is much bigger than the brain of the human beings. The brain of the whale, for example, which is the biggest mammal in the world, maybe is bigger than the brain of the elephant. So, what are the outputs or outcomes of the consciousness? We have two things, and these two things are only observed in human beings and no other creatures. One is discovery, and the other one is invention. If you look at the history of the human beings, you know, I do understand that there were other humans that they were not similar to us. They were not exactly similar to us. They had lots of similarities. I'm talking about Neanderthals humans, but they had wisdom and they had intelligence. They had consciousness as well, because we can see they were living in the society, and we can see that they were drawing some paintings in the caves that they were living in. But what about the animals? Have you seen some evidences from the animals that they have painted something somewhere? No. Have animals managed to discover something? For example, discover fire? No, they have not discovered fire. They have not discovered any other things in the nature. The chimpanzees or the other animals that they are living in the jungles of Africa or Amazon today, they are living exactly as the same as the chimpanzees that were living in the same locations millions and millions of years ago. Okay, we do not have any progress in the way that they live. So uh, we can come to conclusion that they have not discovered anything. For example, discovery of fire, discovery of iron, discovery of, I don't know, uh, different things in the nature. And they have not managed to invent something. So invention is another thing, another output of consciousness. For example, they cannot make it kind of, you know, they make it a stick, you know, a wooden stick, and make a stone and sharp that stone now in a way and they attach it to the head of that stick and make a spear to defend themselves and to use it in the fights that they have with the other animals or other species. They have not invented any kind of weapons, all right, or they have not invented the wheel to use it for carrying different materials um, for themselves. They have not invented anything. So inventions and discoveries, these are the most important things for coming to conclusion that the animals have consciousness or they do not have consciousness. They do not have consciousness. They just have intelligence. We also have intelligence. So human beings have intelligence and consciousness, and that is a big difference between these two.